I could turn this into a hostage crisis and go on for days because I have so much to share. I won't do that, but I'm happy to take some questions for the next 13 minutes that we have. Yes? Loudly, please. What do I recommend for what? Diabetes. Okay. First of all, not eating refined carbohydrates. Secondly, exercising every single day. Thirdly, forgetting any sodas, whether they're sweetened with sugar or they're sweetened with artificial sweeteners, which do exactly the same thing in the body. Monitoring your blood sugar. There are some very good botanicals out there that can help to regulate blood sugar better. Certainly you would want to look at a chromium picolinate to help to stabilize blood sugar. I would say that many of the good herbal books, for example, Dr. James Duke's The Green Pharmacy, gives some good advice on anti-diabetic herbs. It's really a combination of diet, herbs, and exercise. A lot of it, my father was a type 1 diabetic, so I grew up learning that diet was utterly essential to regulating blood sugar. I would say that bitter melon, which is one of the Asian herbs, it's a food and an herb, shows very good benefits for helping to regulate blood sugar. And I think that there are other agents worth looking into as well. Another question? Yes? Do I have names of companies for the herbs that I talked about here? What I can tell you is that KSM-66 ashwagandha is available in about 650 products. You want 600 milligrams a day because that's the dosage that's been used in 15 or 17 human clinical studies. For rhodiola rosea, I would probably turn to a standardized extract from Nature's Way. I just happen to trust them a lot. In terms of saffron, there is a product called Active Inside, which is somewhat new on the market, and I like them. I like their science. I think they do a very good job. And in terms of tamanu oil, you'll find tamanu oils online. There's no particular large company or recognizable company that I can recommend. For a time, my friends and I did True Tamanu with New Chapter, but they're not doing that anymore, so I honestly don't know who to recommend on that score. Another question, yes? Oh, maca. I like Navitas a lot. I like Navitas. I think they do a very good job with certified organic maca.
Miss.
Somebody told her a while ago that ashwagandha raises high blood pressure. I'd love to see the science on that, because I haven't. I know of no such effect. Yes?
Please wait.
I mentioned what?
You mentioned, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of good things today about it's safe and you can start taking it right away, but how can you, I hear a lot of people say they're afraid to try new things because they're already taking prescription drugs. So how do you know what's going to mix or not mix or cause a problem?
The American Herbal Products Association has good guidelines on herb-drug interactions. You'll find some of similar information put out by the American Botanical Council. Both have websites. American Herbal Products Association is APA, A-H-P-A. American Botanical Council is ABC. Their publication is Herbalgram. They do a tremendous job. You'll find good herb-drug interactions. But I would also say this, and I know this is contradictory to a lot of the advice you're given, and that really matters very little to me. The question is not, should you take safe, time-tested, proven effective botanicals when you are taking toxic, potentially damaging drugs? The question is, should you be taking toxic, potentially damaging drugs in place of safe, effective botanicals? The drugs have one advantage: speed. Okay? That's real. If you've got a headache and you take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, in 20 minutes you're probably not going to have a headache. And it may take you an hour with curcumin. If you really want to get an erection, Viagra will get you there. Whereas Tonkat Ali, maybe you have to take it for a week or more before it really kicks in and you regain erectile function. Speed is the only advantage of the pharmaceuticals. And yes, as comments were made yesterday, there are circumstances in the emergency room. Look, I've had a near-fatal car accident. I've had some devastating accidents. That is not when I've chosen to go to my herbalist. That is not when I've chosen to go drink some wheatgrass juice and get a reflexology session. That's when I've chosen to go to the emergency room, get my clothing cut off of me by a team of people who mop up the blood and give me the drugs I need to stop infection. So we must keep in mind, we have extraordinary trauma medicine, but we have lousy chronic health care medicine. Yes?
Miss,
What's that? Eye floaters. Don't know what to do for them, but I like to lie in the sun and watch them go around. Yes.
I was wondering, where could one possibly get ashwagandha seeds, saffron, rhodiola, and tamanu seeds?
The best seed catalog that I know is J. Hudson, the initial J, Hudson Seed Catalog from La Honda, California. Their catalog of medicinal plant seeds and heirloom plant seeds is the best that I know of. So I would look to them.
Okay, and one more question. Which one was it gave the 6% to the VO2 max? Was it ashwagandha or saffron?
It was ashwagandha. But keep in mind, that is with non-elite athletes. If you had an elite athlete, if you saw a 0.5% gain in VO2 max, frankly, that would be pretty spectacular. That could mean a second off of a time.
For sure.
With average people who exercise, you can get up to about, I think it's like 5.67% increase in VO2 max. But don't think that that's going to apply to a Usain Bolt or a Jackie Joyce or Joyner Kersey, because it's not.
Okay.
Yes?
For sleep issues, would you recommend going a CBD route or more the plant-based? What's your recommendation for any of that?
First of all, CBD is a red herring, okay? And what I mean by that is that we should not be talking CBD. That's like saying, that's talking about caffeine instead of talking about coffee. Okay? CBD is a single component in a multi-cannabinoid hemp oil. And we see people selling CBD isolate, which is crap, which doesn't have all of the other support compounds that you have in the natural hemp oil. So what I would be looking for is certified organic hemp oil with a concentration of CBD and the other dozen or so cannabinoids that go along with it. And there are companies out there that are doing this right, Manitoba Harvest, Barleans, Verdant Oasis, etc. I think I've been involved with cannabis in all forms since, the 60s actually. And I've been on top of the research with this, and it's quite extraordinary, and definitely our time has come with cannabis. I would say if you try a good CBD-rich hemp oil and see what it does for you. But I would also say that ashwagandha is quite spectacular, and you would do no harm to try both. Anything to lower high blood pressure? Well, we know that meditation and engaging in deliberate relaxation methods helps to bring high blood pressure down. We know that with certainty. We know that you can reduce high blood pressure by limiting your intake of salt. We know that moderate exercise on a regular basis, getting out and, I'm not talking about going to the gym and pounding iron, okay? If you do that, great. I'm talking about getting out and taking a walk. Take a walk. That will also potentially help. I personally have not spent that much time paying attention to individual people's high blood pressure. What I can tell you, I'll tell you one thing. There is a population of people called the Kuna, and they live on the San Blas Islands of Panama. And they are a curious study, just like the Greenland Eskimos who have no cardiovascular disease, yet they don't eat any fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, or seeds. Very strange. The Kuna people live on one thing, cocoa, as in chocolate. They live on it because it's the only thing they can afford and it's all around them. What they do is they take a pot of water, they boil it, they take about 5 or 6 bananas, throw them in, stir them up until they're all broken up. Then they take a huge amount of cocoa beans that have been freshly roasted. They grind those up on one of those little table grinders. They put that into the pot. They cook it and cook it and cook it and cook it and cook it until it's like gravy. They drink about 4 or 5 cups of this a day, and that is the diet that they live on. And according to a team of Harvard University medical researchers that has been on this population for decades now, they have no incidence of cardiovascular disease. So heart attack, stroke, high blood pressure, 16 common forms of cancer, and type 2 diabetes. They are living on chocolate, folks. And it turns out that the flavonoids in cocoa are among the healthiest substances you can possibly put in your body. That is something that reduces high blood pressure. But I would say this to you. Going out and buying a bunch of Hershey bars is not going to do it for you. Doing Dutched cocoa, which has all of the antioxidant value of it utterly destroyed, is a waste of time and will do nothing for you. You want low sugar, no sugar, certified organic cocoa, better if it's cocoa powder. Put that into a smoothie, drink that every day. You may just see a reduction in high blood pressure.
Hello.
She's asked like 3 questions. Because she's not waiting her turn. She's asked 3
The
questions.
woman is saying that she heard that it's good to boil the bananas with the skins
That's why I'm
on.
taking her microphone.
I've never seen that. I truly don't know.
That's not fair.
I want to just finish up here with a couple of closing.
About ashwagandha, that you recommended that amount daily. That amount is the root powder, or what is it? Or is better to
What are you
take
talking about?
ashwagandha?
Ashwagandha.
Yes.
I'm recommending 600 milligrams of ashwagandha extract per day, standardized to 5% withanolides, which is the group of marker compounds I described. That's the amount that's been used in 17 different very successful human clinical studies. 600 milligrams per day of ashwagandha extract, standardized to 5% withanolides. We're out of time. I want to thank you all very much. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today, and I appreciate you very much. Thank you.